We're back again. So I made a video about this last night. In the video, I said, obviously, I see the post on one of them blog pages, the shade bar on Instagram about black children in the UK are 6 times more likely to get strip searched than their white, Chinese, Indian, Turkish, Greek counterparts and that. Some woman must have sent me a petition asking me to sign. I'm not signing that fucking petition and that, because the reason why young black children are targeted 6 times, and they're 6 times more likely to get strip searched and that than their white and Indian and counterparts and that, is because black children have a bad reputation, unfortunately. Like I said in that video, I ain't gonna talk too much because I want to hurry up and get into this video. I met a youth. I remember I was 15 years old. My first time going down to my cousin Sharina, big up my cousin Sharina, going down to her ends of Stoke Newton. I remember I met a youth when I was 15 years old, blood. This is a 08, blood. Summer holidays, 08 times. The youth was 11 years old and he was trapping. He was selling weed, blood. Ain't no white person, ain't no one in government, ain't no police officers put that youth on. It was another black youth, one of his elders, quote unquote, put him on, blood. So if that kid got strip searched and that because the police them had intelligence that he was shotting and trapping and that, the reason why he's shotting and trapping is because an older person influenced him and put him on. Someone in his own community, someone that shares the same melanated skin as him, blood. So you know what? I ain't with all this signing petition and placards and all this nonsense outside the House of Parliament and House of Commons and that. So like I said in that previous video, there is a reaction video that I was going to do. There's a video I was going to react to in that. But I said, let me do it in a separate video. So here's the reaction video. Let's get into it, fam.
Now, this is serious stuff. It's this new report by the Children's Commissioner, which has revealed that black children in England and Wales are 6 times more likely to be strip searched by police.
Between 2018 and 2022, 2,847 children were targeted for strip searches in England and Wales, and some were as young as 8 years old. The report found that of all strip searches, 95% of them were carried out on boys, of which black boys accounted for more than a third, even though black children make up less than 6% of the school population.
And it just sort of makes you wonder what the point is, because shockingly, under half of all these searches resulted in any kind of further action being taken. Joining us now to discuss these shocking figures is the Children's Commissioner for England, Dame Rachel de Souza, who has published this report, and youth violence prevention campaigner James Watkins, who says he was first strip searched when he was a teenager. In fact, you were stopped and searched by the time you were about 15, and you were strip searched in the back of a van, a police van, when you were around about 17. Now, being strip searched is the most aggressive form of searching that can be done. Just explain to us, A, why that happened, do you think, and B, the impact it made on you for the rest of your life.
Why it happened at the time, I really wasn't sure. I was just going to a friend's house. They said I fit the description of someone that had done something in their area, got me into the back of the van and strip searched me.
With no responsible adult present?
No responsible adult at all. I wasn't even sure if that was allowed to happen, if it was legal. But obviously, at the age of 17, you don't even know how to articulate yourself properly.
No.
And you don't know the rights the police do or don't have. So I just went along with it.
Yeah.
It must have been humiliating.
Humiliating, I felt violated, extremely frustrated because there was nothing I could do about it. And the reality was I was in the back of the van with...
All right, so my man felt violated and extremely humiliated and that. Okay, but I guarantee you he's probably going to blame his shortcomings and that, and the fact that he might not be doing as well as he believes he should be or whatever, on the fact that he's a black man that, or a black youth that was strip searched back in the day and that. Like, bro, you just got to fucking get over it, fam. You're a big Ras Clark man, fam. Yeah? I've been stabbed in that. That's a lot worse to get his strip searched by the police, no? Fam, I'm doing well for myself, innit, yeah? So if you had bad things happen to you in the past, my brother, you just got to fucking get over it, innit, yeah?
With 6 or 7 officers, so you can imagine how tight the space was with them pulling down my trousers and, you know, looking in places that made me feel very uncomfortable.
When we talk, sorry to go into detail, but I know that you want to articulate this to explain to people what it's like. When we talk about a strip search, what does that actually mean in practice when you're a 17-year-old young man, child really still, in the back of a van with 6 police officers? What is happening?
As I said, literally taking off your clothes.
Literally, so you have to take everything off.
I took my...
It's not just that they're looking under your clothes. They are taking all of your clothes off.
The only thing they didn't take off was my boxers that day.
Right.
Yeah, but everything else came off. My socks, my top.
Oh my God, so it wasn't even that bad. I thought they fucking took off his boxer shorts, blood. So, I remember when I used to get stop and searched by the police and that. The police used to stop search, man, very vigorously as well at certain points, innit, yeah? Now I'm going to get up and see if I can demonstrate how they used to search, man, yeah? Right, keep watching, keep paying attention, innit, yeah? So, obviously, the police, them, yeah, would obviously pat man down and that, yeah? Let's see if I can... The police, yeah, would pat man down, innit, yeah? And what they would do is, obviously, they know that, like, me and my little set and that, yeah, would carry knives and that, innit, yeah? So what they would do is, obviously, they would search our waistband, yeah? So they would literally run their thumb around our waistband, yeah? Like that, yeah? So they're literally rubbing on man's ass. Not in that way, obviously, innit, yeah? And literally, when they're patting man down, they will actually grab, like, they're not grabbing man's things, innit, yeah? But to some respects, they are, innit, yeah? But they would literally get, I don't know, this piece of their palm and that, and force it up here, innit? Yeah? I know it's very, very, very graphic, innit? Very graphic, innit? Yeah, but that's how they used to search, man, and that. Blood, they didn't even fucking take off the youth's fucking boxer shorts, blood. They were fucking, I don't know, maybe they did look down there or something, innit? Let's see what he says, innit? Yeah, but they didn't even take off his fucking boxer shorts. Yeah, they stripped him down to his socks and them things there, innit? But it's like, blood, come on, man. These would be the same man that was in school fucking running around in the PE changing room and that, whacking each other with fucking wet towels and all them foolishness and that. Get over it, blood.
My jeans.
And what were they? Did they explain what they were looking for?
Not at all.
So you didn't know why this was happening?
No.
That's a lie. There is no way fucking what are they going to do? They just grabbed him. They didn't say anything and would just say, we're just strip searching you. They didn't even say what? For a suspected robbery, gun, drugs? Nah, they didn't say nothing. He's lying. Don't believe that. Don't believe that for a fucking minute. Don't believe the fact that they fucking would stop him and not even make up even a lie. That's a lie.
Then
Something's not adding up. His story fucking stinks, blood.
you fit the description of someone that they were looking for locally. And did they explain what the description was?
No, they didn't. And again, I didn't ask, being as young as I was.
So what was the outcome? Did they just chuck you out the van?
Literally just chucked me out the van, didn't leave me with any paperwork, didn't explain who they were. That was it, just chucked me out the van.
And how's that left your...
I mean, what's the paperwork really going to do? And, I mean, do you really need to know who they are? They're the fucking police, blood. So, but anyway.
What your view of the police?
At the time, I was very angry. For years, I was very angry.
Does it make you frightened of them?
Or suspicious?
I would say so. I would say frightened. I would say suspicious. Didn't trust them at all. But because this was the experience of a lot of friends, it was normal. That felt like normality to me, that it is us against them.
Yeah, and the grounds for doing a strip search, are you now aware of whether what they did was legitimate or not? It's clearly violating.
It was definitely illegal. It was definitely
an illegal search.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to Dame Rachel D'Souza, who's published this report. I mean, you were quoted in the Sunday papers yesterday as saying that what you've uncovered and what you've published has quite literally given you sleepless nights, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Look, I mean, the colleague here is talking about being strip searched. We've got children as young as 8, and a quarter of those 3,000 strip searches were done on 10 to 15-year-olds. And it is the most intimate search. And there is a visual, so it's all clothes off, a visual look at private parts, and even touching and moving them. And do you know what? I've had children, got examples of children who are telling me that, you know, they were strip searched 4 times, and, you know, their parents weren't even told. And they only when they heard the child Q, the girl in London who was strip searched in school, when they heard about that case, then they told their parents. I mean, of those 3,000, 40% of them it's a legal requirement to record where it happens. It wasn't even recorded where it happened. And do you know what? I've got examples of strip searches taking place in outside fast food outlets, outside theme parks. I mean, it's horrific. I thought child Q would be a one-off in school. Not so. You are not meant to strip search in the back of vans. in the back of police vans, in schools. It's really not acceptable, and without appropriate adults. At the very least, you'd want the police to be telling parents and making sure there was a parent there. No, it's not been happening.
What can you tell us about this appalling case of an 8-year-old child being strip searched? I mean, I find that unbelievable, but I have to believe it because it's true. What happened?
So, well, what we did was we've gathered data. I mean, one of the things that's really shocked me, actually, is if...
Yeah, that's foolishness. The police should not need to be strip searching an 8-year-old and that. But, I mean, there's no smoke without fire. You know, there are parents who would allow their child to carry drugs on them so that if they ever got stop and searched and that, the drugs wouldn't be on the adult's person. The drugs would be on the child. Trust me, there are women out here who have gone on prison visits and that and put alcohol in the baby bottle to give to their boyfriend who's behind bars in jail. Yeah? So the woman's gone on a prison visit, put alcohol in the baby's bottle and that, made it look like it was probably apple juice to give to the boyfriend and that. So people know how to be scheming and that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I know a man fucking used to keep the knife underneath the fucking baby pram, blood. Yeah? Hoping that the police wouldn't. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, blood, the man's walking his shoe. Fam, if you're walking down, if you feel like when you're walking, you're going down the road and you feel like you need to carry a knife when you're with your youth, blood, you should even be going. Don't go to that destination, fam. Yeah?
If child Q, the 15-year-old girl, hadn't come to light, I wouldn't have even known to look for this data. This data of child strip searching, their age, where it happens, it's not been public. And I use my statutory powers to call for it. And it's what the police have...
Hold on a minute. 1 second.
Of child strip searching, their age, where it happens, it's not been public.
No police schools. Oh, sorry. No police in schools. End police strip searching girls for session. I mean, what? You don't think that boys and young teenage males and that get strip searched and that? I bet this is some feminism, like they're slyly leaning towards the side of females and that. Blood. You just saw the fucking statistics. 95% of children that get strip searched are males, and 5% of them are females and that. So I don't know why they're just talking about girls and women and I like to say males and men and young boys don't get strip searched by the police, blood.
And I use my statutory powers to call for it, and it's what the police have told me. So I don't have details. I just have details of where it happens, age, you know, and whether there's an appropriate adult or not. So I mean, it's extremely concerning. Now I want change to happen. We need the laws and the rules around this to be tightened up. I need the Home Office to tighten this up, and I need the police chiefs to really, you know, get their act together on this and get this sorted.
Just remind viewers of the case of Child Q and why it sparked this review.
So Child Q is a 15-year-old girl in Hackney who was sitting in a classroom. The school suspected she smelt of cannabis. They called the police. 2 police took her into a room and strip searched her. She was on her period. They took off her sanitary towel. They did a visual inspection of her. Now, I was a head teacher for years. What should have happened is mum should have been called and she should have been sent home. Anyway, that case caused real consternation, and I committed to her.
But don't you think, well, it was probably down to the head teacher and the teachers and that to call the mum and inform the mum as well. Like, just because the police get here, that don't mean you must shut your mouth and lay down and that. Blood, it's down to you to say, hold on a minute, that ain't fucking right. Yeah? Why don't we phone the girl's parents and make them, let's wait 3 hours for the girl's parents to come down and that, and then we proceed with the thing. So I'll put some blame on the fucking head teacher and or the teachers and that, because it's down to them as fucking adults. If you see something that you don't think is right, like, hold on a minute, they're supposed to fucking say something, blood.
That I would not stop until I knew that this had happened to nobody else, and that this wouldn't happen again. Unfortunately, my findings show today it has happened to 3,000 children over the last 4.5 years, and clearly the rules have been broken. The police's own rules have been broken. I need them to stop breaking their rules, to see children as children and to safeguard children. That's what we need.
Why do you think this is happening? Is it simply a case of, what's the old quote, that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely? Is this basically power going to the police's head?
So, look, I've spoken to the most senior police officers and they've told me why they think they need to be able to strip search children. Remember, these aren't children who've been arrested. These are children who have been stopped under stop and search powers. So just on the street and taken for a strip search and then released. Senior police tell me they need to be able to do that to combat the most serious crimes, knife crime, gun crime, drug crime. But then 51% of these cases have been released with no further action. So clearly there's some overzealous strip searching going on. Now, most police, I'm sure, are absolutely fine, but 3,000 across the whole country with this high proportion of black boys strikes me as very worrying.
James, you work with a youth organisation. You're a founder of a youth organisation based in Croydon, in South London, Main's World. So you work with the police and you want to prevent violence amongst young people.
Yeah.
I just want to pick up on something that Rachel D'Souza said there and something I referenced earlier, which is that there are a huge number of young boys, teenage boys at the moment on the streets of South London, I'm sure elsewhere as well, who are carrying knives. And there are a lot of victims of those crimes, knifings and also muggings. The police might say, if they were here, what are we to do if we're to protect those young people from themselves? Strip searching, stop and search is the way to do that. What would you say to those police officers?
First of all, I would say that so it's young boys and girls right now that are actually getting involved in these things. The young children that carry knives are also victims as well.
Exactly right.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
And
that's why I said protect them from themselves.
Exactly. But to suggest that strip searching is one of the things that's really going to help, obviously the statistics show that that's not even true, because 51% of the children are getting NFA'd. Yeah, no further action.
But if they feel that they should...
But I think, do you know what, that's actually quite a good rate. If they strip search or they stop, let's say, for example, if you stop and search 100 black boys and they find 50 of them with guns or knives or drugs and that, 50 out of 100, that's a fucking good, that's a decent rate. What are you talking about? 50 is shit. 50% is dead. That's quite good. You go out and you stop 100 black boys and that, and 50 of them come back with something, that's good. If you go out and stop 100 black boys and you only come back with 20, then maybe that ain't that good. But do you know why the police them do these stop and searches and that? So every now and then, this would happen like in Edmonton or Tottenham or wherever, innit, yeah? The police would just be moving nuts. I don't know what section it is, innit, yeah? But one of the sections in that where the police don't even, like, they don't need to have reasonable grounds for a stop and search. Reasonable grounds for stop and search, i.e., a black boy wearing a black tracksuit robbed someone. Right, so anyone that fits that description and that, they're going to go and stop them in that. When they don't need to have reasonable grounds and that, they can just look at you and just think, okay, he might be a gang member, let's stop him in it. So every now and then, they do that in Edmonton and that, yeah? Now, whether they come up with an excuse or the sergeant at the local police depot gives them authority to do that, they'll just be running around, stop searching everybody in Edmonton and Tottenham. I've seen that a few times, innit? Just outside the fucking train station for no reason. There's just police there. Next thing you know, they're stopping and searching you. Do you know why they want to go around stopping and searching a bunch of people and even come back with nothing? Because it puts the fear out there, fam. It puts the fear out there that, okay, we're stopping and searching these 5 boys that are just civilians, they're just college youths, they're not on nothing in it, yeah? But you riding past on your bicycle that sees the stop and search, yeah? They're putting their fear into him who really does have the knife or the drugs or the gun on him. Trust me, circular text messages used to go about, yo, there's bare police at Edmonton Green, innit, yeah? You know what that means, innit, yeah? Don't go there, innit? Yeah? Even shit like nowadays, man will just send out texts, yo, there's bare police stopping people at this place, innit? Like just for car insurance and shit like that. You know what, if I hear that the police are randomly stopping people for car insurance, I'm legal to drive, I don't even want to get stopped. So I'll go that way. They're putting the fear out there into people. They're putting the fear out into the criminals that, okay, we're making a mistake of searching all these random people that are not doing anything, but one day we're going to catch you. Imagine, yeah, if the police never stopped anyone in that. Who would be fearful? No one would be fearful of carrying a knife or a gun on the street. If I was to think to myself, let me carry a knife and that, I would be afraid that I would get stopped and searched and that. especially on my estate as well. There's always police driving up and down all the time. If I was to carry a knife out onto my walk through Edmonton Green and that, I would be afraid that I was going to get stopped and searched and that, because they're always pulling up on man, and they're always coming to my estate and that, driving. When I say pulling up on man, I don't mean me, but just they're always pulling up on people, stopping people and that. They're always driving up and down my estate. So I know there is a risk that me, as a knife wielding individual, could get stopped and searched and that, because I see the police always on my estate, always stopping and searching people and that. That's what they have to do. Imagine if the police imagine if you knew, if you walked out of your house, you would never get stopped and searched, ever. It's illegal. Everyone will be carrying fucking guns, machetes, everything, blood. So they have to do it to put the fear out there, fam.
Strip search a young person because, as Susanna mentioned, there may be the possibility they're carrying a knife, then they should do it legally. They should do it legally. They should follow the rules.
They should follow the rules. They should document it properly.
Exactly.
As the colleague just said, you know, a lot of the where it's been done isn't being documented. You know, if there's a parent present or...
Well, it must be documented. It must be documented somewhere, because where would they get the statistics from? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? How would they know how many young people were stopped and searched in general if no one was documenting anything? Now, maybe documents ain't being handed out to the people that have been stopped and searched and that, the suspects and that, but it is being documented. The statistics don't, no one just pulls statistics out their arse and think, you know what, yeah? I reckon there's about 3,000 young people getting stopped and searched every year and that. And, you know, 95% of them are boys, and 5% of them are girls. And out of the 95% who are boys, 37% of them are black boys. And black children only make up 6% of the population, or 10% of the population and that. No one's just pulling these figures out of nowhere, innit? Yeah, it is being documented somewhere, innit? That's how they're able to get the statistics.
Or a guardian present 51% of the times isn't being documented as well. These are issues.
Yeah.
So when the protocol isn't followed, there needs to be harsher ramifications for the officers involved.
And we see this huge crackdown today on antisocial behaviour. But my feeling is, literally personally, where is the crackdown on these crimes?
Yeah.
The knife crime and the muggings. Because it's like an epidemic. You probably see that in Croydon.
Yeah, definitely.
What would your advice be?
To be honest with you, it's going to take a holistic approach to improve this situation.
He don't know, fam, AKA blood.
And part of that is improving relationships between the community and between the police. That's
No. If you want to improve the relationship between the police and the black people and that, just don't interact with them. Don't give them an opportunity to interact with you. Which means don't commit no crimes, blood. It's simple. It's so fucking simple, blood.
I do what I do. You know, we offer spaces and forums for children and young people to be in the room with police and have open discussions. Then the police can have an influence on the way young people view their future and the decisions they make. And obviously, new recruits, I'm part of a program that trains new recruits when they come in to work with the community that they're about to police. So they then start humanizing the young people that they approach on the streets.
You see, it's easier, yeah, to run around and want to train the police how to deal with black people now. Do you know how to fix this problem with young black people always getting targeted and that for stop and searches? When the stop and searches are conducted, come up with nothing. Stop doing crime. As black people, let's behave ourselves for a solid 10 years, a good solid decade. No crime, or crime is at the bare minimum. And that's only crackheads, because they just cannot control themselves and that. If that was to happen, if we was to stop doing crime, if we was to start behaving ourselves for the next 10 years, our bad reputation, our reputation of being gang members, gun wielders, knife carriers and that reputation would leave. Yeah, we wouldn't have that reputation. The police wouldn't have nothing to go on to want to stop and search us. I don't see the police running around and stop and searching fucking Chinese or Korean kids. Yeah, it's always the black pitney them. We got that reputation from ourselves. We didn't get that reputation from no one else, man. The people them is to blame is us. Like I said, that little 11-year-old and that was trapping and selling drugs and that. If he ever got strip searched and that, well, that's down to his fucking oldest to put him on. And his parents as well. You know, his parents should have put him in a position where You know what I'm saying? He's in a safe environment. He don't have to feel like he needs to sell drugs and that because mum and dad ain't got nothing to give him and that. So yeah, man, that's about it, man. I just thought, let me react to this video because I knew it was gonna be quite interesting. So anyway, that's it for today, man. Stay wise, done.